In today's video, we're gonna get into what addiction feeds in you and how that starts to take over and how you can take your life back. Because most people don't understand addiction. And this is coming from somebody who's helped many people break free from addiction. So let's get into the details of what it is that's happening and how you can unearth this thing from you, get it out of your life, and replace it with something magical so that you can start choosing the thoughts, emotions, feelings, and experience that you have in this life so you can actually have sustainable joy. Sound good? Jump in. Welcome back to Whole Goals, everybody. My name is Andrew Love, and it's my job here on this channel to help you reclaim your mind, heart, body, and soul so that you can be an unstoppable force of change in this world. Now, I just recently saw that movie Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell about the father-son dynamic and what it's like to be a father of a son who's addicted to crystal meth. It's a very intense movie. I cried a lot. It's kind of beautiful, kind of like, it feels like homework watching it a little bit because it's not a happy movie. But as I was watching it, I learned some really key takeaways that I want to impart to you because it's really important when dealing with any type of addiction or compulsion. You see, there's a point in the movie where the kid who's addicted to drugs talks about this feeling that he's never quite comfortable unless he's on drugs. While he's sober, he's not comfortable. This is a really important note because I know so many people like that. And whether they're unfortunate enough to wind up with some sort of heavy drug addiction, especially in the toxic realm of heroin, crystal meth, whatever, where you basically just lose your life so quickly, or whether somebody gets lost in drinking or even porn or even food. There's obviously a spectrum of different things that you can be addicted to. But the point is the same, that you don't feel comfortable unless you do something that's outside of yourself. And this is really, really, really vital, okay? If you want a happy life, you need to be comfortable in your own skin. That means you need to be comfortable in your own head. That means you need to have thoughts that are welcoming and nice and warm, like you would want to go to your mind. You would want to live in this skull of yours because it's a comfortable place. Or your emotions, that you have inviting emotions instead of emotions that attack you all the time or attack other people, or you don't know what to expect, like it's this raging bull inside of you. Who wants that? Or a spirit that is uncontrollable and you're lethargic or lazy or disconnected or powerless or confused or foggy in your mission or your purpose. And physically, who wants to be in a body that they don't love? And the point is, we settle for these things because we don't think we have any other options. And I want to let you know that there's always a way back home, and that way back home is learning how to be comfortable in your own mind, heart, body, and soul. The second thing that I really wanted to focus on is the fact that in this story, you can really see that when you start becoming addicted to a substance or something outside of yourself like porn, it's like you're introducing this virus into yourself that grows. It's like this being, this creature that lives inside of you, and it needs you to feed it, and it makes you suffer. It attacks the host when it's hungry, and it's always hungry. And the only time that you don't feel terrible in your own body is when you feed this thing. So in the case of drugs, it's like you feel anxious and all that unless you do drugs, because the thing inside of you feels rested, so it allows your body and your mind to feel rested. But it's never full. It always wants more, and it usually needs more and more of that thing, whether it's more and more watching porn, more watching hardcore porn, or whether it's drugs and going into deeper and darker drugs, doing more of them. It's never done. You always need more. That's the heinous thing about this. And so a lot of people think, well, great. Well, how do I rip this being out of me? This thing that I've introduced, this addiction, how do I get it out of me? Thing is, you can't. You can't yell at it to get out. You can't surgically remove it from you. You can't intimidate it. The only real way that you can ever get rid of this addiction, this being, this creature inside of you, is by pushing it out, because there's too much positive stuff inside of you to leave it no room left so that it has to vacate you. Only when you're totally fulfilled, only when you're really actually able to love yourself, to experience deep love for yourself and to feel loved by others. Only when that occurs do you settle this thing down. Otherwise, it might, shut up for a little while. You might be able to get through a few months without going back to your addiction, but it's still there. It's just lying dormant, waiting for its moment. It's just waiting for its resurrection moment, and it will be back. So that's why so many addicts, when they're running around trying to stop their addiction, they're not looking at the core root of their problem, which is that they have a void in them. And that came up in this movie as well. He felt like he had a void in him, and that void can only be fulfilled by natural means. If you put drugs, if you put porn, if you put alcohol, anything like that inside of you to fill that void, it'll never be enough, and it will only come at the cost of your mind and your body. It just strangles your soul. So the only real way to fill that void for any lasting amount of time is honestly by connecting to yourself, by doing prayer, doing meditation. I have other videos which I can link here. I'll put in a few. How about this one? How about this one? How about this one? All of these are tools and resources to help you reconnect with yourself so that you can generate the power and the love from within and connect to the eternal source of love and life and power and energy, instead of from these finite resources which come at a great cost, like drugs, alcohol, porn. So just know that when we introduce these addictions, we are introducing like a living thing in us that becomes absolutely endlessly hungry. When you are full and there's no room left, there's nowhere else it can go, it has to leave. It's the only way. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna leave you here, and I'll see you in the next video.